Hello, I'm Anthony Giarrusso, also known as Yellow Polo Giarrusso, and this is my first video of 2023. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And hopefully, as you watch this video, you will be motivated to go to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and do all of these amazing things that I did, so then you can either understand me or maybe even find a new understanding of yourself. Portsmouth, New Hampshire is pronounced Portsmouth, like Portsmith. However, it is spelled Portsmouth. It is a port, literally like a seaport, right there at the mouth of the Piscataqua River. However, everyone there pronounces it Portsmouth. Think about that. I strongly recommend going to Portsmouth, New Hampshire for vacation, especially if you live within state or even out of state nearby. Like, let's say if you live in Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, this is a place you got to go and drive to. It's great. And if you're a world traveler like me, we have no restrictions. We can go and travel to wherever we damn well please, and that feels great as a world traveler. Portsmouth, New Hampshire is home to some of the best restaurants, amazing places to go shopping, and also the largest water park in all of the New England states. And there's 6 New England states, if you may have been unaware. When I lived in New Hampshire, I used to go and test drive cars. That was one of my hobbies. It's still one of my hobbies here in Florida, too. There's a Chrysler dealership in Portsmouth, and there's a Chrysler dealership in Exeter. And I would go and test drive Chrysler because I've always loved luxury cars, and Chrysler is one of my favorite car manufacturers anyway. And I remembered test driving a lot of Chryslers. When I went to the one in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that was the first time I ever test drove a Chrysler Sebring, a Chrysler 200, and a Chrysler 300. And I love these vehicles so much. They were very luxurious, very beautiful in the exterior, and very beautiful in the interior. And I remember specifically, I met a sales representative. I don't know if he still works there or not. He might not. I don't know. But I took him for a ride, and we took a Chrysler 300 out by the air base in Newington. They call it Pease. And we drove that Chrysler, did some handling tests, some speed tests. It was a lot of fun. Okay. And this is something that you can do too. If you ever go to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, or any of the other towns or cities that have dealerships, I strongly recommend going to test drive a car and see how they drive and handle and stuff. What's so interesting is Portsmouth, in some areas, they have very rough roads. So when I was driving the Chrysler 300, it was so smooth that in my mind, if I had the money for it at the time, I would have bought one immediately. But I didn't have the money for it at the time. I just took it for a test drive because that's my hobby. Some people really like music. Some people really like different types of music, especially symphony music. And I can attest that I do like listening to symphony music every once in a while. And Portsmouth, New Hampshire is very well known for symphony music. Somewhere within Portsmouth, New Hampshire, there is a theater. And in that theater, I watched with all of my classmates when I was very young. the symphony. That was the first symphony I'd ever been to. I did go to a few more symphonies after that, but not many. It is an acquired taste, but I do like that kind of music. And I am sure that you will be able to find this theater and listen to the symphony for your acquired tastes. And it is called Portsmouth Gas Light Company. It is a 2-floor pizza restaurant. That's their specialty. And they literally have the best pizza in all of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. You gotta go and try it for yourselves. You're gonna really enjoy the atmosphere. It's very different. It's a little darker, but they have bricks. They got all the fancy lights in there. It's just a very different place than your average pizzeria. So you gotta go check it out. Some of my other favorite places, my favorite generic pizzeria, way better than Domino's or Pizza Hut, it's called Papa Gino's. This is not Papa John's. Papa John's, their pizza sucks. Papa Gino's has excellent pizza. Papa Gino's. I remember going to Papa Gino's for a lot of times, and I used to get the cinnamon sticks there. Best cinnamon sticks I've ever had. And you dunk it in the frosting. The cheeses that they use on that are very delicious. Not as good as Gaslight, though. Like I said, the Gaslight, that's what most people call it. Portsmouth Gaslight Company. Best pizza in Portsmouth. Go there. I also have a lot of memories of going to the 99. My favorite thing as a child that I used to order was the All-Star Sampler, which had the best nachos that I've ever had in a restaurant. Buffalo chicken tenders, and potato skins. Then they got rid of the All-Star Sampler, and then they had the buffalo chicken tenders and potato skins platter that I used to order a lot. And then they brought back the nachos, but the nachos kind of suck nowadays. The nachos way back when were how nachos are supposed to be. And unless if you have ever ordered nachos back in the 90s at the 99 restaurant, you won't know what I'm talking about. And they always used to give me an ice cream sandwich. It was so cute. Okay, I get it. You're not really into eating. You're not really into music. How about history? The USS Albacore is one of my favorite museums. It's literally a submarine that is on land. They took this defunct military submarine, put it there, and then you can walk through it. It's this huge museum. Oh my goodness, I never realized what the technologies are that all go into a submarine to make a submarine, and all of the crew members and learning about how the military and what we call here in the USA, the silent service for the Navy, what they had to do when they were on submarine missions. And it was really eye-opening to me, which then led later, literally after I went to this museum, I think I actually went there twice, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, no. I went there twice because the second time I only went to the gift shop to get a mug for someone. I started developing my own dreamlands. And after I went to that museum in the submarine, I decided that in some of my dreamlands, I would want to have a seaport with the availability to manufacture submarines and also have my own submarine Navy fleet to protect my dreamlands. Very awe-inspiring. I strongly recommend all of you to go check it out. It's called the USS Albacore in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Another cool historical site was Strawberry Bank. Okay, I went there with all the little kids, and it was a school field trip. I remember going up all these random little tiny houses and having all the floors creak, and they were creaking so much that even though I was a child, I thought I was going to fall through the floor. Like, that's how creaky they were. On the outside, you can just walk around and see the original embankment where they had, it was like an open area with sand. And I think that was like where they used to park the horse carriages. Kind of like how you would park your bicycle at like one of those metal things that go up and down like this. Well, I didn't have a metal thing like that, but it was just like an area where you would park your horses with your horse carriages kind of deal. I also remember the candy store there. First time I ever had it, it was like wax, and you bite off the top, and there'd be like a liquid inside, and they were shaped like soda bottles. It was really weird. Never had that before. And there was like all these other like strange, like old-fashioned candies that I've never heard of that I tried, which was kind of cool. I think a lot of the candies were also local New Hampshire brand stuff too. Then right across the street from Strawberry Bank is Prescott Park, which was a small garden. And I'll be honest with you, it was pretty disappointing in terms of the flowers and the upkeep. It was kind of ugly. But it's free to go to, and it's right across the street. They had the red bricks, but it never really looked upkept, so I don't know how it is now in 2023. It's been over 7 years since I've been there, but hopefully they've restored it. I don't know for sure. But it's right there. It's a little park. A really nice park that's, you know, right down the street from there. It's called Four Tree Island. Which is funny because there's more than 4 trees on that island. One of my best experiences, there is a small playground over there, right by Four Tree Island. And you walk across this little bridge, and then there's this big island that you can do cookouts and things on. I went there, and I actually got to see the submarines, the military submarine. They bring military submarines. I don't know if it's the same submarine each time, but multiple times I'd be on Fort Tree Island with all these other people, and we'd wave and welcome the submarine back into the port, which would usually end up going across the state of the river into Maine to go to Kittery, where they fix up these submarines. I also just suddenly remembered that there used to be like a little festival thing near the drawbridge, and they had like Thomas the Tank Engine stuff and Blue's Clues stuff, and people would dress up in things. It was really cute when I was really little. I don't know if they still do stuff like that. Whale watches are something I love to do. And I've gone on whale watches out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Rye, New Hampshire, and Gloucester, Massachusetts. Every single whale watch I've been on, and I've been on, what, like 6 or 7 whale watches? We've always seen whales. I've only seen 2 species of wild whales so far. Most of the time, every single time I went out on a whale watch, I saw humpback whales. One time I was out there, we saw humpback whales, and for the first time in my life, possibly the only time in my life, a fin whale. I don't know if I'll ever get to see a fin whale in the wild again. That's why I say that. And if you don't know what a fin whale is, it looks almost like a blue whale, but it's a little smaller with a bigger dorsal fin, and it has a slightly different color pattern to it. So if you don't know what a fin whale looks like, make sure to go and look up what a fin whale is right now. An FINWHALE. Seeing such a large creature really inspired me, and I'm like thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool to potentially become a marine biologist and potentially specialize in whale research? I don't know if I will ever do that in real life, but it's something I've always considered as a possibility to pursue. People from Canada, Europe, Asia, they come to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, mostly for one specific reason: water country. Have some fun, just like Water Country's 1990s commercials that they used to air on television. This was the first place I had ever tried Dippin' Dots. And then I realized Dippin' Dots doesn't really taste that great, and I'd rather have regular ice cream. I've had so many personal experiences at Water Country. I've gone with multiple friends and family members. I remember meeting some of my cousins that I hadn't seen in like years at Water Country, and that was really special. I loved spending hours in the whirlpool. It would literally make all the guests rotate around the pool in a circle, and they also had this big waterfall drop thing, and it was just so much fun for all the kids to just play in the waterfall. And in the whirlpool, at the center of the pool, it was like an underwater tornado, and it would make this vortex, and you could walk into it. It was so cool. They also have one of the nicest lazy rivers I've ever been on. You could just float in the inner tube and just relax. I enjoyed meeting random people and making very short-term friendships with just all different ages of people, from adults to kids, while riding the raft rides, Wild Canyon and Thunder Falls. The double black diamond Dragon's Descent was a very fast, almost roller coaster-like attraction. However, it's not a roller coaster. You get on these like figure eight style inner tubes, and you rush straight down towards like this cone thing, and it goes around in a circle and does kind of like helixes, kind of like a roller coaster in a circle, and then you get sucked down the middle, and it comes down pretty quickly into the water. And that was a very unique ride, and I think they still have it there at Water Country now in 2023. I'm Anthony Giarrusso. I strongly recommend to all of you, go visit Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and experience the wonders for yourself. Make your own itinerary, or follow where I have been. And if you need any help at all with planning your travel to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, or anywhere else throughout the entire world, please email me at wondersofanthony@gmail.com. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.